So after this wonderful visit, followed by a presentation on the Govardhan Eco Village, I'm sure you're all tuned to an ecologist. The concept of ecology, even as a non-science student also, must have gathered some ideas, and the objective of Govardhan Eco Village has been told to you. Friends, prior to the conference tomorrow, this meeting for youngsters and ecology is very important, I believe. And I did not know that I had to hold this responsibility of giving the views, talking about, but it's very easy for me. There are many secrets of this easiness which he may not be aware of, but I'm sure Dr. Snail must be aware of. You have seen the word vada. And he said it is like batata vada, More than that, as I come from the Tehsil Wada, my village is about 10 kilometers away from this eco village. Across the river, 10 kilometers above. The same river flows not only through my village, but on the bank of river, I have my own orchards. And I have seen, the only difference is, brother, that it is not eco village, it's agriculture village, and this is eco village. And this is a very good subject combination to tell the audience, if you do not care for ecology, what happens to the state of environment? No more sustainability. Had there been sustainability, I would not have migrated to the city to take my education. Abundant water, sunlight, 10 times more the forest than now, plenty full of thick wood, lot of aquatic life, a very big fish catch we used to get. Now I can't even buy those in city. Perfect ecology was in place till human interventions. Came roads, straight transport bus, tractors, power tillers, motorcycle. And over the time, with the growth of population, all those ecologically symbiotic material or concept of life has faded away. Now if you see the villages, it's difficult to get a bullock, pair of bullock and a plow. If you go to the river, it's very difficult to see the fish because they use dynamite, they kill the fish, the ecology is disturbed. There are no bivalves in the river. There are lots of chemical fertilizers flowed in, sedimented. No mollusks. Nothing is there, which was the food chain for tribals. It's no more. Why? We can't see any frog, butterfly, and lots of insects we used to see. They all disappeared. Agriculture, farming has almost come to like contract farming, and the more the urbanization will go on, MMRDA zones are invading up to the rivers of the Vaitarna, the other bank. You are lucky you are on this side. So MMRD is spreading. Mumbai will become a mega city. Right up to, in the present plan, the NEERI and MMRD can tell you, but across. The ecology of the villages is not in place. And that's why the difference that I find, I could be the best person to tell you this difference. The leaf fall, I'm talking with reference to what you all have shown. It goes with the runoff, monsoon, water runoff. Nobody knows where it goes. If it flows through the farms, between the trees and forest and the main river Vaitarna, or through rivulets, if it passes through the agriculture stretch, there will be some chance of sedimentation. If the sedimentation takes place of a leaf mold, the microbes can develop and they will be symbiotic to the growth of the crop. Over the time, pollutants have come in. Their interventions, chemical fertilizers, synthetic fertilizer, non-organic fertilizers, it has interfered with this life and it has started disappearing. Vultures have gone away long back because of chlorophenols and all those. Fish has gone away, frogs have gone away. Now where is symbiotic life? And in turn, how it has affected sustainability? You don't get a good fish catch. The bird population gone away. So pollination is gone away. Many species, only the trees which were there, they are being felled for commercial purpose. The smaller herbs and shrubs and the climbers, they are of no use, but then because of excessive fertilizers and air pollution, there the species are getting wiped away or some of them are extincted. Ecology is disturbed. The agriculture country, the India, it's difficult to say now is going to be an agriculture country. The most powerful power is the solar power, natural sunlight. It's still existing, luckily. All the operations of agriculture were with the help of the sunlight. We don't have machines and other things and pans and for drying and all that. Everything after harvesting, it is dried in open sunlight. If it is there after the monsoon, the better heat has to come, drying, harvesting, everything goes on. But for change of seasons, seasonal variations, suddenly stop getting the unexpected rainfall. And then that does more damage to the crop, harvested crop, and the ecology again gets disturbed. Why? Because we have gone away with sustainable development. While manufacturing chemicals, fertilizers, means, machines and everything, we do not think what is toxic to ecology and environment. We at the most think of what is toxic to human being, toxic element. But what is toxic to the ecology, environment, nobody thinks. In spite of having thousands of species worldwide, they are getting diminished. They say climate change. Now here you have seen the leaf mold, it falls. Some insects grows, makes its nest. It will come down. And if it is made to fall in such ecological balance and development bonding, the leaf mold will decay in the same field. It will do lots of aerobic, anaerobic activities also. The microbes will flourish and they'll make the soil best, which does not require to put fertilizer. If every village stops using fertilizers, my village, when I was a small school going child, we had never seen a fertilizer. The only fertilizer that we were making rather, in a very natural sense, there used to be a very big dig near the house. All the kitchen waste, agriculture waste taken care of separately, but all the kitchen waste and sweepings, all these materials degradable only. The house lady, the mother, the grandmother, there should be natural segregation for the whole world, and corporations are fighting a problem of segregation of municipal solid waste. So they would not put any tin pieces, glass, which will harm. And the same degraded material was to be put into the big dig, a pond type. That would cover, in the monsoon it is filled up, and after monsoon it is all dug up and put into the farms, the best organic manure including cow dung. And the crop were better, fruits, vegetables were very tasty, the shelf life was higher. Even if you put them for a whole year, the cucumbers wouldn't rotten, pumpkins wouldn't rotten. All those roots will be like a staple food for the whole year, from season to season. Now, even if you store them, they get perish. They get fungus. Shelf life is gone down even 15-20 days. This is how the contamination we talk in the chemical science and environment and the emission has spoiled the ecology of the villages. So, unlike this village, the sewage goes anywhere from every house. I'm not ashamed of telling this to you. I grew in that village. I have seen the changes. I did my bachelor's, master's, PhD. Under me, I have awarded 26 PhDs, 150 publications. You name a journal in chemical environmental science in a developed country and you will find my paper there. With high citation, H index, which is sometimes difficult to believe. The boy going from the village like this, where there is no education infrastructure, anything, we were studying, and that was a better time, on one lantern, and 15-20 of us, all children of the house, they would read and study till our 9th, 10th, till I was pushed to the city. My father thought I am little better writer, so let me push him to city, which I was not pushed to, and for a better education to Thane and then Mumbai. So that was the environment. But I find that ecology was very good, very peaceful. Is to get a good sleep, and the food is to get cultivated there. No kinds of diseases except the scabies, because it's so difficult to get a good soap, in the villages those days. So that kind of the ecology has been diminished. Against that, this land, the ecology build up. Friends, this comparison coming from the horse's mouth, I've been seeing and experiencing and done the science of the ecology and the environment. You see how important for a sustainable development. I think people can come and stay here. They don't have to migrate to city of Mumbai for a good livelihood. So you can see the sustainable development, the concept of it, the energy transformation. And now on, even after retirement as a Vice Chancellor, I opted to be as a friend of ecology. In terms of now we are working the concept of Earth Engineering Science of Columbia University. I am one of the trustees in India, 7 of us, and now we are engaged into waste into energy, WTRT, that is energy technology from the West. Now we are, and all of us should not consider a waste as a waste, but waste is a material. The Govardhan Eco Village is the best example that everything is converted into energy. It's not only solar energy from the sunlight, it's a compost, it's a biomethanation, it's a sewage treatment plant, and making a fertilizer, compost, and without using the other fertilizers, make the produce that we see in your establishment, and living into the life which takes less of the energy and less of the byproducts which are environmentally detrimental. So friends, this is what you have seen, and in comparison, I would say the concept of ecology, sustainable development, I am sure that you are aware of. The purpose of this conference is, in a Vedic sense, how do you look at this? All this was written in Shastras, our Granthas, Upanishads, and everywhere the literature you find. The urja, the energy. Now we had the prayer of the river for the good philosophy and understanding. So I said that the serene environment is the best representation of the God. You must have seen the water flow making its own sound, otherwise it requires energy to create a sound. The flow and the fountains. I told a zoology student, did you observe the fish into the water, which otherwise difficult to see? So these observations, in a Vedic sense, which we were talking in those days, we have to think and go back to those philosophies. The energy that is produced is again a transformation. But the source of energy, if you do not conserve, in a Vedic sense, I am sure there will be a lot of interventions and then pollutions come into. You allow the plant to breathe, which we do not allow when the urbanization takes place. The tree wants oxygen, gives away carbon dioxide, but never thought in a Vedic sense there will be sulfur dioxide. The NOx trigger out of the higher combustions at higher temperature. They never thought sodium, potassiums and silicates could be blended in the form of fertilizers. And they all depend on the pH of the soil, which will not make them bioavailable. These interventions we have made, which were in a natural flow. Dr. Rajendra Singh will talk more about the nature and the flow. Not only river, but the flow of a nature. This human intervention have intercepted our science and have done wrong operations, and we, the human being, the life, entire life, is really at stake because operations are being done but interventions are wrong. They are doing wrong cuts, wrong surgeries, and the patient that we all like, are suffering, or probably the survival of fittest time will come, not only economic sense but environmental sense, and then probably we shall be the victims of this non-sustainable environment. Fortunately, the human being with most of the wisdom, technology and science have done this intervention. Now stop talking about the green world, ecology, environment, sustainable, bioresources, conservations, all that. But unless it is an understanding coming together like this, observing, seeing and talking and preaching and practicing, the sustainability will not exist. Other day I was talking the city club. Planting trees and everybody forgets how to cultivate the tree. We think to cultivate only crop and the other business, the poultries, fisheries, but nobody thinks of cultivating trees. You'll find all kinds of interventions because of the environmental pollution, mushrooms, mycelium, wounds, cutting of lateral roots, making tree imbalance, not allowing the props to touch the ground and the tree, they fall. And someone like then Kanchan Nath had to succumb to the tree fall of coconut. Nobody observed the infection to the coconut tree. The roots were infected through the drainage water where we put abundant phosphates and sulfides and nitrates. He developed the infection, the root zone had gone. The vascular bundle was almost no more existing. It's only the peripheral skin the tree was surviving, and then it could not bear the weight and it could fall. It did fall on her head and crushed her. One advocate was crushed on the scooter in Thane. These uprooting of the trees, because these interventions we do without understanding ecology, and they make our own the victim. I do not know. 1400 trees have uprooted in city of Mumbai. Nature takes care that they fall in the time of the night, a lot of windy breeze, and the less casualties, more casualties of cars than the people. But this is a science when a city like Mumbai is not practicing like arboriculture. In agriculture, there is a culture, arboriculture of cultivation of trees and shrubs, which we see here. And then we leave it to the fate of a nature, the life of tree. If it falls, children on the bus stop, they are waiting there, and it's only by God's grace that tree doesn't fall that time and they do not become. But this time will change, and more of the frequencies of the accidents will happen if we do not think of ecology. Ecology per se of every life, not only insects, but entire flora fauna, each life. If it's a lizard, it has to be given its own natural environment. It has to be adapt to the adaptations of the nature. It will adapt to the nature, become a green in a monsoon, which you must have seen. If there is a greenery, and it will become a gray, change its color when the grass dries up. And there is a sustainable development. What? There is a water, there is a greenery, there is a grass. When any of these elements are phased out, there is ecology is intervened. And then one of them decide to be slowly out of the nature. And then the life becomes, we can't say sustainable, but it depends. And our dependence has moved from natural breeze and sunlight to the machines, air conditioners. Then we start talking of chlorofluorocarbon, ozone depletion, ozone depleting substances, global warming. Science starts building up. But we manage it at grassroots level. There's no question of ozone emissions, no NOx emission, no SO2 emissions, no mercurial fungicides, pesticides, which has killed almost all the bird species of the world. You know that your seed grains were dressed by mercurial fungicides. Till Minamata told to the whole world the Minamata disease of mercury poisoning in 1956. Till they were dressing the seed grains, not with biopesticide, but mercurial fungicides. Now they are banned. DDT is banned, and they were all anti-ecological. The birds, predatory birds, stopped eating those. They were eating those and they stopped laying the eggs because no calcium is anti-calcium, so shell formation, so no lake formation, no egg laying. And when no egg laying, the mother will die one day without having laid the eggs to give the siblings. And so the birds have vanished. So this is how the ecological intervention has damaged our ecology and environment. We have been shouting, talking great, coming here like this. But in real sense, how do you take ecological sense for sustainable environment in the house? If I ask several questions to you, I'm sure you'll find 100 faults. Each one of us living in urban area, and you'll find that how you are detrimental, your actions to sustainable development. You think they're very small things, but they magnify. Like a biomagnification, the fish eating mercury every day, a few microgram, goes into milligram to the lethal dose. It dies. Then you don't eat that fish. There, fish died. Fish found dead in the water body. But till then you were eating them. Then you were like a fish. 1 milligram, 2 milligram, 10 microgram, 100 microgram, how much you eat. And it accumulates into your body. Symptoms were revealed from 1932. It started using mercury as a catalyst for manufacturing acetaldehyde chemical used in many of the industrial revolution. In 1956, there was an outbreak. People started dying, fish eater in Japan, Minamata. And 1958, it took 2 years to know what was the culprit and the mercury. Then we talk of ethyl mercury, mercury and lead and everything. We have phased out lead from our diesel petrol when, I believe, after 2000, when other countries had stopped it long before, after they investigated, the tetraethyl and tetramethyl lead is very, very harmful, carcinogenic, and 35 more elements it causes. I will not go into details of those toxicity of lead. Friends, the developed countries will study the provincial kind of things being done. The group of scientists will work only on selenium, tellurium, cadmium, chromium, zinc. And someone of us, all together, if possible, will try to find toxicity of all elements, And that's not the science. That's not the science. And they investigate everything from origin till the end. And the profiles are made and the actions are taken. Well, ecology, environment, understanding put to practice. But the developing country like us, unless such kind of understanding is spread to the villages, exactly opposite to this, every village and village practices, there is a need to transform this, replicate not only Govardhan Eco Village or Hirve Bazaar and many more and Anna Hazare's place. You require these things to happen everywhere. I am happy that I could still see the plowing with bullock. When you can have hundreds of tractors, you have capacity to buy. And my village, in my own house, now there are only buffaloes because we want milk. That can't be synthesized till now. But there are no bullock. They are very happy to have the tractor, power tiller. They boast on that. But now there is no cow dung. So biogas is being run. I was the first one in Vada Taluka to have the biogas to tell people the environment in college. Everybody has it. At least for that sake, they are putting the buffaloes. So they're milching cows and buffaloes, no bullock. So they give cow dung and the biogas plants are run. And it has made a revolution in the villages. The Forest Act changed later on that you can't go to forest with a sickle or any kind of equipment that will cut the tree. It's a crime. They became very stringent. So people had to shift to the biogas plant. And hundreds of tons of the big agriculture families were siphoning the wood, small growing shrubs and trees they were cutting. And that is how the forest cover has depleted very fast. Now luckily the laws are being changed. The good step into preservation of forest has at least, I would say, stabilized the forest cover. If the goons in the hand in gloves of forest officer, if they do not siphon the teak wood and catechu for better commercial rates, and that's happening unfortunately, but not happening in the tribes, people who are living on the forest, they have been protecting now. So friends, it's a great need, an urgency for stopping these interventions and remember our Vedic times and days and worshipping the trees and preserve them for sustainable development. On any topic, whenever needed during the conference, I can give a great deliberations. There will be some presentations also on my mobile. some PPTs, that apart. But it is very important to have dialogues, I believe, and interactions. If you have any questions that what you have seen, your mind is inspired, what this life cycle is, what the trees do, how the water flow, they begin, where it is begin. Now you do not see the monsoon there. There is no rain. And when rain stops in Mumbai, you feel very hot. You feel very hot. Here you will not. Now there is no rain. That heat you don't feel reflections like in city of Mumbai, but still the rivulet is flowing. The students can think from where this water comes from. When there is no rain for last 3 days, 4 days, no heavy rain, why the rivulet is here is flowing? From where the water is coming? That could be question to you. There is no sea here, far away. How do you get a fish in this river? From where does it come? How does it proliferate? Why they are planted and so green, evergreen, trees, mango and jamun? Why? What's its ecological importance? You must observe all the establishment here and have questions for yourself, and you have to imbibe those practices in your day-to-day lives and at least see that the fuel combustion in a house is conservative. All degradable is put to degradation. No toxic substances, materials are used or used in excess. No gas leaks, no pipe leaks, no tap leaks. All these small things will save a lot of water. You want to see that air conditioner in summer, if you put the water that falls through air conditioner after condensation, is about 5 to 7 liters per day. A drop by drop it is so much. And all the leakages in the tap, you can imagine how much it is. Out of 3750 million liters per day water supply, including Bhiwandi, is covered. Thane. How much water supply is there for Mumbai city? 3,750 million liter per day. 1 million is 10 lakh liter. From where does it come? The very Vaitarna, this one, upper Vaitarna. Then Bhatsai, correct? Middle Vaitarna, taking away all the water from this zone, Palghar district. Now 2 more are coming up, Gargai, Pinjal, to add the growing population and need of Mumbai. That will give 900 MLD per day. Now taking this water, not directly like a muddy water you have seen here, the same river, the water you get is very clean. The treatment, process, it does cost so much, and you get at peanuts price, and so you can afford to waste it. This ecology from producer to the consumer is not made to understand, officers will not. Till we stand and create obstructions, don't take away water from here. Then probably they will realize. And in the process, a small example I'll give you before I stop. 19 villages are getting rehabilitated for Gargai Pinjal. 19 villages. The cost of rehabilitations, most of them are tribal, and compensation is 880 crore. Needy people will be knowing this, understanding, and that will not be spent by the municipal corporation because I wash. And so Medha Patkar, like another lady, has to stand, that rehabilitation first. Now, this much money disturbing ecology, forests, flora, fauna completely, supplying water to city who are not conservative of water use, recycle, reuse. We set up WTRT 100 MLD STP plant, present capacity 80 MLD inlet and 60 MLD is recovered, 60 to 40. And that water is sold to the industry. So nearly 50% water can be recovered in the city of Mumbai. That could be around 2000 MLD, 1500 MLD, straight equation. And Gargai Panjal, with so much of the ecological disturbances, will give you 900 MLD. So instead of going for a new dams, which environmentalists shout, you go for recovery, reuse, and that will stop polluting the sea. You can recover the sludge as a fertilizer, including chemicals, which come through lots of detergents and many other salts into sewage. If the developed countries can do it, 30% mixing water from recovered from STP, sewage water, 30% is allowed to be mixed up in the drinking water in developed country. Why not Mumbai, Calcutta, Madras and Delhi? A time will come. The slogan written there, the next war will be on the water. We'll have to go for recovery, recycle. It's a part of ecology. Sustainable development. The forest, species, flora, fauna will survive in the bountiful of the ecological environment by stopping such interventions which are unnecessary. Well, you have any questions? Any discussion? We must get into dialogues. Otherwise, this could not be speaker to the audience, If I am permitted to, otherwise someone, she can take over and carry on. Unless I have to answer some questions, you are welcome.